The speaker walks to the center of the stage, pauses, and scans the room with a calm intensity. He nods slowly, a small, knowing smile on his face. All right, let's get down to it. We're here to talk about something. Something people see as a weakness. Something they whisper to you when you're pouring your soul into your work, into your life. We're gonna talk about that voice. So, I've got 3 things for you today. 3 things to carry with you when you walk out that door. First, the misdiagnosis. We're gonna talk about why the world tells you to care less, and why the world is fundamentally wrong. They've mistaken your fire for a fever. Second, the true currency. We'll break down what that caring too much really is. It's not a liability, you hear me. It's the only currency that has any real value in this life. And third, the directed flame. I'm not gonna tell you it isn't heavy. It is. But we're going to talk about how to carry it. How to turn this thing that feels like a burden into the engine that powers your destiny. He takes a moment, letting the keynote sink in. His voice is low, conversational, but filled with conviction. I see you out there, I do. I see you staying up late, going over that project one more time, not because the boss told you to, but because it has your name on it. I see you losing sleep over a friend who's hurting, feeling their pain in your own chest. I see you crying over an injustice on the other side of the world that has nothing to do with your daily life, but it has everything to do with your soul, and I hear the voices. I hear them. You care too much. Why are you so intense? Just relax. It's not that deep. Let it go. Let it go. He shakes his head with a slight, wry chuckle. Listen to me. That is the greatest misdiagnosis of our time. They tell you to cool down. They tell you you're sick with it. They look at the sweat on your brow and the fire in your eyes and they say, you have a fever. But it's not a fever. A fever is a sickness that consumes you from the inside out. It weakens you. It leaves you delirious. No. What you have is fire. Fire provides warmth. Fire provides light. Fire forges steel. It's not a sickness, it's a tool. It's a power. Why do they get it so wrong? Because your fire is a mirror. When you bring that intensity, that passion, that deep well of giving a damn, it reflects back on them, and they have to look at themselves. It makes them uncomfortable. Your light makes them have to acknowledge the shadows in their own room. It's easier to tell you to dim your lights than for them to find their own switch. It's easier to tell you, don't take it so personally. When what they mean is, your personal investment is making my professional detachment feel cheap. When I was starting out, I had an acting coach, a good man, but he was cautious. He'd watch me in a scene, and he'd say, Denzel, pull it back. You're doing too much. It's a lot. What he was really saying was, what you're doing is making me uncomfortable. Your passion is highlighting my comfort. That coach is the world. The world wants you to be lukewarm. It wants you to put on the comfortable slippers of indifference because your fire exposes the cold. People who are afraid to care, or have forgotten how, will always try to douse your flame. They'll tell you it's a weakness because they don't have the strength to feel what you feel. Don't you ever let them mistake your passion for a problem. It's not a sickness. It's a sign of life. Which brings me to my second point. The true currency. We live in a world that chases paper, chases likes, chases followers, chases titles. That's all temporary. It's smoke. We see it every day. People stacking up numbers, the number in the bank account, the number of square feet in the house, the number of followers on a screen. They're chasing ghosts, digital ghosts and paper promises. And some of them get it. They get the big house on the hill, and inside there's just an echo. They get the fancy car, and they're driving alone. They get the title on the door, but they can't look the person in the mirror in the eye. You think that's wealth. That's the definition of being broke. Your care, your ability to give a damn, that's the real currency. That's the gold standard. My mother used to say, what you have in your pocket can be taken. What you have in your heart, you give away. Now think about that. When you give away money, your pocket gets emptier. Simple math. But when you give away what's in your heart, when you give patience, when you give forgiveness, when you give your full, undivided attention to another human being, it doesn't shrink. It grows, it expands. The more you give, the more you have. That's a divine economy. That's a spiritual stock market that never crashes. Every time you choose to care when it would be easier not to, you are making a deposit in your own soul. That late night on that project, that's not for your boss. That's a deposit of excellence. That's you telling yourself, I am a person of quality. That phone call to your friend when you're dead tired, that's not an obligation, that's a deposit of loyalty. That's the bedrock of real relationship. That ache for the world, that's not a weakness, that's a deposit of humanity. That's the stuff that connects you to every single person on this planet. That currency, that's what builds a legacy. Not a legacy of stone and steel that will one day crumble. Not a legacy of headlines that will be forgotten tomorrow. It builds a legacy of impact, a legacy of love. A legacy written on the hearts of other people. Don't you ever let anyone tell you it's worthless. It's the only thing that is. He pauses, his tone shifting to one of deep empathy, his voice dropping. But it's heavy. Right, I know it is. It hurts. Caring means you get your heart broken. Caring means you get disappointed by people you believed in. It means you lay awake at night replaying conversations, wondering if you could have done more, said more. It means you carry burdens that aren't even your own. You feel the splinters from someone else's cross. It feels like an uncontrollable fire, one that licks at the edges of your own sanity, one that threatens to burn you out, to leave you as nothing but a pile of fine gray ash. You feel that, don't you? And this is the most important part. This is the third point, the directed flame. God didn't give you that fire inside you to have it burn you down. He didn't give you that ocean of empathy to have you drown in it. An uncontrolled fire burns the whole forest down, indiscriminate, chaotic, leaving nothing but destruction. But a directed fire, a fire contained in a furnace, that fire can forge steel. That fire can power a whole city. So I'm not here to tell you to stop caring. God forbid. I'm telling you to get strategic with your care. I'm telling you to build a furnace. What is that furnace? Your purpose is your furnace. Your mission is your furnace. The things God put you on this earth to do. You can't care about everything, all the time, at maximum capacity. You will burn out. The human soul wasn't designed for that, but you can choose. You aim that care. You focus that flame. You pour it into your family, building a foundation of love so strong it becomes a fortress. You pour it into your craft, so you do it with a level of excellence that inspires others and glorifies your Creator. You pour it into your community, into one or two causes that break your heart and set you on fire at the same time. That's where you build your furnace, and then you protect it. You protect your flame. You don't give access to your furnace to just anyone. Not the cynics, not the doubters, not the energy vampires who come around to warm their hands on your fire and leave you colder than you were before. No, you guard it. You become a gatekeeper of your own energy, and you feed it. You feed that fire every single day. You feed it with prayer, with good books, with good people, with silence, with discipline. This discipline is what separates a wildfire from a forge. It's what separates a martyr from a leader. It is the practice of turning that deep well of feeling into a powerful, directed river that can carve canyons and change landscapes. So when they come to you, and they will, when they come to you with their comfortable slippers and their lukewarm advice, and they look at the fire in your eyes and whisper, "You care too much, stop it." You look them dead in the eye. You give them that little smile, the smile of someone who knows a secret they don't. And you don't have to say a word. You let your work, you let your life, you let the world you are building be your reply. Let the quality of your craft be your reply. Let the strength of your family be your reply. Let the change you make in your corner of the world be your reply. Let the light that you refuse to dim be your reply. Don't stop caring. It's the most valuable thing you own. It's the engine God gave you. Just learn how to drive. Now go on. Go power your city. Thank you.